It all started with 3 barleycorns, the definition of an inch, would you believe?
If you get 3 of these barleycorns, you get an inch. If you get 12 of those inches, you get a foot. And if you get 3 of those feet, you get a yard, which is all very straightforward. And this carries on nice and systematically because 1,760 yards gives you a mile. You take an eighth of that mile, you get a furlong. You divide the furlong in tenths, you get a Gunter's chain. If you divide the Gunter's chain into 11ths, you get a fathom. If you have 15 fathoms, you get a shackle. Or alternatively, if you take 100 fathoms, you get a cable. Now, each cable, if you have 10 of those, you get a nautical mile. If you take each nautical mile...
So nautical miles are the same as ordinary miles?
They're like normal miles, but wetter, basically. Okay. Right. So if you have 3 nautical miles, you get a league, or alternatively, you can take a nautical mile and split it into 6,080 feet, which means that the film 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea should be 40,533,333 feet under the sea.
Catchy.
But yeah, exactly. Now, each foot, if you divide that into thirds, you get a hand. Well, of course, 3 hands to the feet. Makes sense. Each hand, if you cut that in half, you get a stick. If you take a stick and snap it in half, you get an inch. If you take 3 inches, you get a palm. If you divide it into 4, you get digits. You take 3 digits, you get a nail. You take 4 nails, you get a span. If you take 2 spans, you get a cubit. Now, that cubit, if you divide that into thirds, you get a chapment, which is a slightly insulting unit. And if you are actually keeping track, Tim, that would be 243.2 million chapments under the sea.
I knew that.
That's a much catchier title. Now, 5 chapments in a row is a pace. If you take 2 paces, you've taken 1 step. If you take 4 steps, you've just walked along a rope. If you take 5 ropes, you get a Ramsden's chain, because Ramsden didn't want to use Gunter's. He's got his own chain. You take 50 Ramsden's chains in a row, you get a Roman mile.
Is that similar to the nautical mile?
It's similar, but subtly different to all the other miles, because you don't want just 1 mile. Why not have more than one for different occasions? A Roman mile is exactly 60,000 inches. That's nice and straightforward. Whereas a standard mile is a slightly messier 63,360.
For when you just
inches.
need that little bit more.
Yeah. So if a Roman goes the extra mile for you, you get less value for money. Now, each inch, if you divide that into sixths, you get a picker. If you take a picker and divide it into 12ths, you get a point. You take a point and divide it into 20ths, you get a twip, the smallest unit I will be mentioning. You then take 6 points, that gives you a poppy seed, and now 4 of those poppy seeds takes us right back to where we started, the barleycorn. So as you can see, it's a nice, consistent, straightforward system of measurement units.